Allyn, my trading warrior brother. I'm going to make you the presenter now, buddy. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's on your radar. It's been a while since we've had a conversation. I love your work on Twitter. So I just passed you the ball, my Chicago brother.
My screen.
Hopefully how are you, Anthony?
Monitor 2. I think this is the one we want.
Okay.
Are you seeing the NDX chart there?
Yeah, we got it. We got it. So you're looking.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Anthony. Great to have you back here. I love your work. You just threw me because so much of your work, and we could talk about this, but so much of your work, there are broadening formations, megaphones galore. It seems to be one of your favorite formations, or is it just the way the market structure has been the last few years that more of these formations manifest?
That's a great
question. What you think about that?
A couple of years ago, we were still looking at a broadening formation on the broader market, and which was what I called primary wave D theory, and I was one of the first persons to come up with it. But since then, we've broken out of that pattern, and it's I'm talking about the 20-year chart. I think I've got a chart in here showing that. Showing where we broke out.
You mean we broke out, but had an overthrow over it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we went far beyond the top of what. Now here's a broadening pattern. Speaking of broadening patterns.
Right.
And what we thought was this was B, C, D. You probably see it better on. Let me see if I can find an older Dow chart. Because really,
so this is the NASDAQ here.
Yeah, this is the NASDAQ.
But what I teach, Anthony, and I'm wondering if you would agree with me, that, once you have an overthrow, I don't care what kind of line it is, a channel line, flat line, whatever, that the way to play it is let it do whatever it wants to do outside of the formation, but next time inside of it, that it negates the overthrow, which makes people throw up if they're short. That's the entry. That's the trade.
That's your stop hunt, right?
Yeah, back inside. Yeah, back inside that.
Yeah, if this blue line breaks, every veteran trader on Wall Street is going to know what to do with it, and I'm sure all the quant trading programs are set to sell that.
Yeah. So that's just a little bit above the February low.
Yeah, we bounced out of that. Let's see, this was the January. Yeah, well, we haven't quite tested it yet.
Okay. All right. It looks like it tagged it.
Although this is a monthly chart.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly how accurate it is.
Yeah. Okay, bro. So what's on your radar? You wanted to start
turn you up a little bit. Let's see. I was just going to try to pull up this broadening pattern since we started there. So probably the easiest way to do this is is just draw a broadening pattern on the Dow. You can tell my typing is great. All right. So this is a 20-year view of the Dow, and this was the broadening pattern.
Right.
So we thought it came down in the tech crash A, B, and then this was C. But then we took off. We were off to the races above this upper purple line. Right. I continued to try to weasel the line up like this, but you could see right where it broke out.
Yeah.
So wave D was rolled out there. I know we were talking about that a couple of years ago. Was the broadening pattern still in play? And I don't think it is. Wave D doesn't determine the shape of a triangle, but I can't. This is too powerful for a wave D.
Okay.
And you can see the chart I just updated, or the NASDAQ chart looks like a broadening pattern in wave 5 with a throwover, which would be typical. I put a bunch of charts in here. We're watching. I've been watching the Dow more because it seems like a lot of tech stocks are moving the S&P differently than the Dow. And I look at several indexes, but you can see this is still trending down. So I'm trying to think where I should look at my notes.
How did
yeah, we saw the February swoon,
right.
and expected to see a big rally off of that, which we did get that. I thought, let's pull up this chart. This is a chart I sent you, I guess, a month or two ago. Let's see, March. I thought it would trade up into a triangle, not broadening, but into a capitulation wave B, where we could see from there wave C correction, larger wave C correction. And what happened, it was nothing like that. So, and the market's whipsawing, and it's been hard to get a handle on it, although we've stayed on the right side of the trade.
I don't have the stomach for trading them right now.
No, I like this trading.
I was there for, I was there before it broke. I was a little early, and then I sold the first rally. Okay, but now I don't have the stomach for it. You go home, it looks good. You wake up or come in, turn your computer on at 6 p.m. and you can watch 40 handles, and then you wake up and they're up 40 handles. Too much for me.
Yeah.
What's a big picture here now?
Well, I'm watching this apparent contracting triangle where we're kind of trending down in here and whipsawing, which kind of points to a triangle. The VIX has kept me on the right side of the trade because the VIX remains in the danger zone. This morning,
even yesterday, Anthony, when we were up 40 handles, the VIX was only down a point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay. Yeah, this looked like a snapback rally yesterday. It sold off into the FBI raiding Trump's lawyer's office. Apparently, on that news, I think we have quant trading programs selling a lot of news. Well, this is my prediction last week, is that we're going to trade at least down into the bottom of this triangle pattern. And I would count that as ABC, because in this position, and this is another broadening pattern, you can see wave C often looks like a triangle. I mean, Elliott wave rules and guidelines tell you wave C can't be a triangle, but in this position it can, and it often is. So I would mark this primary wave C. I'm looking for a capitulation bottom here where everybody gets bearish, and then
would that take it under the Feb low 2520? I don't have my
yeah, I'm looking for a new low. So let's say it washes out below the triangle to the lower
24.
purple line.
Okay.
Then I'd be looking for a new recent high if this broadening pattern is correct.
Okay. What would change it if we started closing over 680?
Oh, to the upside?
Yeah, we could be
the VIX has to come down, first of all. If the VIX doesn't come down below 1750, I would be really cautious here.
Okay. Yeah, it's sticky here.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty here. This would be the longer term view on the daily candlestick chart, and I don't know that we're going to see 2490 tested, but it's not that far away. If the 200-day breaks and we see a panic move to the downside, that's where support is. That's where, I mean, real support. If that breaks, then we're going to see it go a lot lower.
Okay. So a lot of either or scenarios in S&Ps. Is it the same in any asset classes? I know that you follow the gold and gold stocks, and gold stocks have been weak compared to the bullion. You have a view on what's happening in precious metals here? I know you actively follow them.
Is there a way they can turn your mic up there?
Turn my mic up?
Oh, that's better. Now I can hear you.
All right. I know that you follow gold and the miners, and the miners have been weaker than the bullion. I was wondering if you have a view on gold.
Yeah, I got a gold chart in here. Gold is consolidating. It seems like everything's consolidating. A lot of things are consolidating. US dollar, gold. Let's see if I can find that gold chart.
Yeah, everything. Everything is sideways.
Yeah, and there's a lot of money to be lost there if you're wrong each time. It's not the best trading, although the VIX has kept me on the right side of the trade on the S&P.
Okay, and 17.5 is your line in the sand for that might be an all clear for the market if the VIX closes under 1750. So that's a pearl. That's an important level.
Well, I'd say the 50-day on the S&P. You're talking about the S&P?
No, the VIX.
Well, the VIX, yeah, 1750 is my line in the sand.
Okay.
Let's look at the VIX. Remember, we were watching the VIX consolidate in this downturn triangle forever.
Yeah.
And I said the market was rigged, and I believe people were shorting the VIX, driving the market higher as they shorted the VIX
for years.
Yeah, for years. And here it got away from them, and you see what happened. I got a picture of, except, I underestimated what was going to happen here. I saw this top coming, called, sounded the warning bell, told people to short contracts and or get money off, take their money off the table, and but I didn't see the VIX going straight to 50 in a day. And what do we see?
Who could call
3,000 point crash? I mean, well, I think next time we won't underestimate it. When the trend breaks, get short and stay short, and expect the worst. It's a tough call. I mean, support broke on the short-term chart, and then the 60-minute chart, and I mean the long-term support isn't quite broken. I wanted to show you that VIX chart, the VIX F.A.C.E.
We have
it imploded. This is the fund they blamed for the VIX shorts getting squeezed.
Oh yeah.
You can see where it broke trend right here, where the stop hunt is.
Yeah.
So I mean, when the trend breaks, there's nothing to do but sell. So I mean, you see what happened here. It ignored this support, broke here.
It can't fill the gap because it's no longer a trading instrument, right? They took it off.
I think they took this off the market. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be one of the many very few instruments that can never fill a gap.
Yeah. And I don't think there were any gaps left behind on the VIX.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, the market hasn't quite opened, but this morning, like what I'll do is I'll look at my short-term VIX chart, which has been working like a dream lately. And you can see it whipsawing in this broadening pattern. So, and like to find the true support on this VIX, I'm looking at a monthly chart, which has been working like a dream. You can see each month they come in, they short the VIX.
Right.
It's not normal. It's totally been rigged. And so, I mean, here it got away from them. The VIX came down, but it's still above this 1750 level.
I see why you're looking at that.
It's still above 20, and this has just been working like a dream. So, I mean, if we get down below 1750 and we see buyers come in, instead of just rush in, rush out, then I would get bullish.
Okay.
So I got short term. I mean, 10-minute VIX chart. It's pretty crazy that that's even working. Well, that's natural gas.
Right.
But see the blue line trending up, so the VIX is still trending up. It's whipsawing in a pattern. I suppose it's going to touch 20 this morning on this snapback rally, which is how I see it. But I don't see it getting down below 1750. There's a lot of fear in this market, and that's
how about oil, Anthony?
Oh wait, gold.
Gold, yeah, gold. And
I do have an oil chart handy. Oh, I was going to go to my oil chart or oil folder. I find myself charting more and more. I need more folders. This was oil had was a big cause of the unwind, which we saw that coming, or I did. Oil unwound, and you saw that contributed to the February swoon.
Okay.
Since then, we've seen oil snap back. This is the Brent chart.
Right.
To a lower high, which is bearish.
Okay,
I mean, if oil can't get back above there, then I'm going to stay bearish oil.
Okay, so we could have like an ABC back to 60 or something like that?
It went back to 71.28.
Yeah.
And now it's at like 70.40. I think it's up a little bit this morning, but I mean, that looks like a bearish snapback rally to me.
It's a tough trade in front of what's happening in the Middle East right now. Shorting gold, I was saying this morning, shorting gold and shorting oil are probably the two toughest trades in the current news cycle environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, so here's the WTI. This is a like a 20-year chart.
Right.
And this was the big move in oil up into a little broadening triangle. And where do they sell it? At 666?
Someone told me that.
So, I mean, if this could be A, because it looks like a leading bullish triangle. I think the best way to try to call a wave B pullback would be put a Fibonacci tool on it and watch it come back to 41, 40, maybe just below 42.
Well,
I can't see oil breaking out here. I don't know.
That wouldn't be healthy for the S&Ps.
No.
And that would imply a strong dollar, don't you think? The dollar.
Oh yeah. Dollar. Let's get back to.
I thought I was extreme, and I'm talking about 58 in crude. But okay, go ahead.
I think we could see crude collapse, but it kind of looks like wave A with that leading. Yeah. It depends which chart view you look at, and so I'm vigilant and looking. This is the U.S. dollar trading sideways.
Yeah. So which way is it coming out of the triangle?
That's a good question. When you trade sideways into a contracting sideways triangle like this, it seems to take forever to resolve itself, and I can't tell you if it's going to retest the high or the low here.
Yeah. Okay.
And gold's trading pretty much the same way.
Do you do anything with the gold-silver ratio and track that?
No, I never have even looked at it.
Oh, okay.
Should I?
Yeah.
I should. All right. Okay. That's good. That's give me something else to chart.
Yeah. So really, you came on here today, and we have just a bunch of neutral markets. The one thing that it sounded like you have the most conviction about is your line in the sand in VIX, and that there's at least one more wash in the S&P because of that before we have a better rally. Am I reading the interview correct?
Yeah. I'm looking for like a shakeout and then a breakout.
Also, your crude has hit a lower high and could be vulnerable to some downside. That
Yeah,
also you seem to have conviction about. Correct, buddy?
definitely.
All right. So, do you have an axe to grind nowadays? Do you have any kind of business model? I think you have a private Twitter
Not
for your
really.
analysis. Not
No,
anymore.
no, I'm just giving it
Okay.
all away free, and which isn't making me any money, but it's I enjoy doing this, so I don't know. I was looking
Okay.
for a hedge fund a little bit, and I don't really think I fit into something like that. Um,
Okay.
maybe an angel investor. I'm working on a book, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I think you have to do this kind of work. You have to be
Yeah.
a little OCD, and so I don't know if the book will ever get finished because I'll never be happy enough to release it.
Oh,
And
well, then I know what I have a title for you.
yeah,
Because being obsessive and everything, and perfectionists
uh-huh,
are a bit anal. So
yeah.
why not call it "My Look as a Technical Analyst"?
That's good.
Analyst.
That's good. I'm gonna change my title on LinkedIn.
Great talking with you today, brother.
All right.
All right, and thank you. We'll do it again, and maybe we'll have some resolutions out of these, consolidation patterns. But you did drop a few pearls on me, so I wasn't sure where the VIX would give an all clear,
Oh,
and
that's
I was kind of leaning towards a failing rally in crude. So you
uh-huh.
crystallized a few things for me here today. I appreciate it.
What do you think about before you go the Treasury yield? What is it, and what does that have to? What is the dollar going to do if the Treasury yield crashes here? There was a lot of worry about the Treasury yield.
Yeah, most are worried about them going up. So you're talking
Right.
about if they head down
I'm
dramatically?
saying, yeah, I think it heads down. I think maybe we see QE infinity
Okay.
if
I thought we would need to see 20, 30% sell off in equities first for that to happen. But what I'm looking for in the dollar is one shake out of the bulls one more time
yeah,
for a pretty good dollar rally.
I think that's possible.
Yeah,
If you
like
got
maybe
time,
126, 127 euro, and then maybe back to 116 or so. I don't
if
know
you
what the
got time,
catalyst would be,
I could pull up a.
but
Oh, you know what? I
but
did
I
want to
would
talk
think.
more about the U.S. dollar, but
Okay, go ahead.
okay. Yesterday we were watching the U.S. dollar Canada, and you
Yeah.
saw this. One second. We saw the spinning top on the 50-day on this chart,
Okay.
and we saw it come down below there and shake everybody out, but it's still above support.
Oh,
So
interesting.
U.S. dollar Canada, I think, should rally up to the top in this ABC pattern, just like we saw oil do.
Okay.
Um,
And so a break in oil would correlation-wise would support that,
right.
and eventually a dollar rally would support that.
Yeah. I just
Okay.
looking to see if I had a
Interesting.
better U.S. dollar chart. I do have a longer term U.S. dollar. I totally got that wrong last time we talked. I was looking for another short squeeze in the dollar, and we saw the opposite. But we were
Yeah.
watching another broadening pattern there. Let me see if I can just find that chart, the longer term U.S. dollar, because I do see a U.S. dollar breakout coming.
Okay.
Here it is.
Okay, and you do see one more high coming in the cable. Looks like a 148. Okay, so you have this as a 4-2. All right, interesting. Because
So,
one of the e-waiver guys I respect the most is on our team,
mm-hmm,
Greg Horvat.
uh-huh.
Follow him, and
Okay,
he's looking for something similar to what you've just laid out here.
right.
So yeah,
I think
okay.
this
So
could
one more
consolidate a
low.
little longer. I think it
Yeah,
consolidate. See it. We see it consolidating just like the market. And so, is it building a base here? What is this?
I think so.
Yeah.
87 and a half. I have a formation. I could show it to you.
I think it is.
Since we're collaborating, you want to see what I'm looking at?
Sure.
I'll take.
There's a closer view. This was one of the scenarios I was looking at last year, and you can see it's whipsawed into what it looks like a wave 4.
Yeah, so that comes in about 7.
Let's see. What did I do with the chart?
All right, here I'm.
Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, that's got my screens mixed up.
You got the U.S. dollar there.
New high on the dollar.
Yeah.
And then QE infinity. Well, you know, Kudlow, he's the new what is it, Treasury Secretary or not Treasury Secretary?
Advisor,
financial advisor. He's king dollar. He's all about the strong dollar, which we really don't need in a deflationary cycle. Which,
you know, I interviewed him, and it was during the primaries, and he wasn't even he didn't even really think Trump had a chance. It's really ironic. But anyway, I just want to show you he didn't, and now he's working for him. So I just want to show you my dollar chart. Okay, and then we're going to wrap it, and I'm going to tell people where to find it.
Here we are. Okay.
Okay. All right. So here you go. I'm looking for one more washout towards 87.5. It'd be some type of 3 driver to clean it out. It looks better even on the weekly.
I like
You're getting
that.
a wedge. You're getting a wedge. So I'm thinking down here, 126 euro. I don't know, new highs in the pound, and then maybe we get the dollar rally. I'm not sure what the event is going to be, but that's what I'm looking for technically. That help you?
Yeah.
All right. You could just call me the most patient coach in the cosmos.
Yeah, you really are.
All right. Well, you know what? I really am not. But I'm glad I fooled you. So Anthony, I hope you score on a lot of these formations coming out, and continue the good work of showing your technical work to people and trying to help them. I admire that you're doing it without an axe to grind. So anyone still watching or that sees the video, you could follow Anthony Allyn at 3X Trader. Or is it
3X
plural?
Traders. 3X Traders.
All right, 3X Traders. So thanks again, Anthony. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing some
market resolves itself.
What's that?
We'll get back together once this market resolves itself.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Anthony.
All right.
Good hunting, my trading warrior brother. Okay, that's turnaround Tuesday, everybody. Let's see what the oil was coming off a little bit here. Anthony's look, still pretty stiff. Euro's coming off from its 61.8, and the gold is still stiff. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, gold trying 1340, silver still stiff. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's not a breakout yet. All right, everyone. Have a great day. See everyone tomorrow. Good hunting, and remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. The private chat is active and running. See you guys there.